Welcome to Bills Tonight. I'm Chris Brown, joined by Eric Wood, our Bills analyst and former Bills center. And Eric, a wild one, but the Bills used turnovers to keep their distance on the scoreboard from Seattle. Just your initial thoughts on a quarterback-dominated game more than anything else.
Yeah, both quarterbacks showed up today, and it was as entertaining as a game gets. Tons of yards through the air, so many big plays. But the Bills' defense, as you mentioned, forced 4 turnovers. Josh Allen, they start the game with so many consecutive pass plays, only 2 designed rushes in the first half, I believe. And Josh Allen goes for over 400, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and no turnovers. And that's the kind of play you want from your quarterback in a game as big as this when you're playing against one of the league's best.
Yeah, I mean, it was pitch and catch for him, no question. He finishes with an 81.6% completion percentage, going 31 of 38 for 415, as you mentioned. Not that Russell Wilson was bad from a passing perspective. He was just bad in terms of protecting the football. Had 2 fumbles, interception, 2 interceptions, and 4 total turnovers for the Seahawks. But let's go to the defense first as we go down to the Zoom room in the locker room where Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are waiting to address the media.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the job that the defensive front 7 in particular was able to do on Russell Wilson today. I know Jordan, his pressure on Wilson resulted or certainly helped out with your interception in the end zone. He had that strip sack that Trey White recovered. Just knocked him around all day. What did you guys think about what you were able to do up front today?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it every week. Our D-line serves a drink to our defense. We talk about all week that, they got to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and that's what they did today, man. Those guys, they had a hell of a week of practice. Just focus on the details and continue. We understand nowhere near where we want to be, but, continue to work on the little details. Those guys had a hell of a week of practice, and they showed up in the game today.
Can you walk me through your pick? What happened on that play?
Yeah, they ran swap boot.
He said to play to him. Y'all supposed to know it.
Yeah, they basically swap boot is what we call it. I was able to read it, and Jerry was able to get pressure in his face and force him to make a throw that he probably didn't want to make, and I was able to just make a play on the football. The same exact play Mike Hyde had last year against New England.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. I think going into this game, you look at this game and you're like, okay, the second big game if they want to limit their receivers. How are you guys able to eat in this game based on the game plan?
You broke out.
Yeah, the last part.
Repeat that question.
How are you guys able to eat in this game based on the game plan from what Leslie Frazier was calling?
He was aggressive. As a defense, we like to get after the quarterback. Today, our front was able to do that. And then on the back end, when the ball was thrown, make plays on the ball. Tre'Davious made a hell of a play. Poe made a hell of a play. Our D-line was eating. A.J. Klein had the day of his life, coming off the edge, had a couple sacks. When Frazier's calling an aggressive game and our D-line is eating like that, that's when we play at our best.
What does this game say about your defense as a whole heading into Week 10?
Well, I don't want to hear it. No, our defense been bad all year. Nope, keep that same energy. I don't care if we're getting takeovers or not, or getting takeaways or not.
Yeah.
We got a bad defense over here, I guess.
Luckily, I'm very familiar with.
Sorry, buddy.
It's not to you.
Not directed towards you.
I was like, dang, I'm catching the heat right now.
We know everybody picks Seattle today, so that's all right.
Second and long, they treat.
No, what does this game say about the defense as a whole?
Our offense put up 47 points. It was just complimentary football. Obviously there were some plays that we left out there, a couple big plays that, just some communication stuff. Obviously a couple plays I had out there that I wish I had back. So just continuing to get better each and every week. We're not anywhere near where we want to be, and I feel like I say that every week, but at the same time you got to have that mindset to continue to get better each and every week.
Thanks guys, great win.
The whole game, you made a great check on that.
Hey guys, Jenna Cotter. Congrats on the win. I know you said that a lot of people picked.
That was a huge play in the game, and
what does it feel like
Josh's preparation
with the complimentary way you guys played?
Hey, you broke out. Can you finish your question?
Just winning this game, knowing that no one expected you guys to, what does it mean to you guys and what does it show about the team?
We're a resilient group. We've, especially as a defense, I feel like, we put some bad games on tape, but just like in years past, we always prevail. We always come through. The guys in this locker room never quit. We're just relentless. We want to continue to get better, and as long as we're getting better late in the season, it's a process right now, but late in the season we're playing our best football. Today was another game. We were able to make some plays and something to build off of.
Just a follow-up really quick. You talked about AJ Klein in his play today. What impressed you about him on the field?
Just playing fast, man. He's playing fast. He's playing loose. That's what we expect out of AJ. He's a great football player, and he made some huge plays for us today.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, Jay Skursky with the Buffalo News here. The last 3 years, you two and Trey had combined for 31 interceptions. Coming into this game, you hadn't had one yet amongst you three this season. Did you guys feel like you were due?
I'm the Lone Ranger. Yeah, we were definitely due. We were due 8 weeks ago. It was good to see. It was good to see 2-1 and 2-7 get on the board today. Poe made a hell of a play in the red zone. Red zone picks on us too. Taking points off the board, that's huge. And then Tre'Davious, third and long. They were backed up. They were trying to be aggressive. The game was so tight then. I think it was a 10-point game at that time. They were trying to put something together, get something going. And Tre'Davious made a hell of a play. Obviously we're busting his chops because he got tackled on the 3 against a lineman. We're gonna kill him in the meeting room. He has to score that. We talk about scoring on defense, but he has to score that. But no, it was just good to see them get on the board, and it's just something that the whole DB group can build off of. We're a unselfish group. We don't care who makes the plays, but as long as we're making plays. I think that we went into this game knowing that the plays are going to be out there. It's just on us to catch the ball.
What were the swings in this game like, just emotionally? Obviously, you know how explosive they can be, and your offense is going back and forth. You guys are taking the ball away. It was just so much was going on during the game. What was it like on the sideline at times?
Every week is really like that, and just being able to weather the storm and control. Every week you're gonna have ebbs and flows of a football game, ups and downs, and just being able to control those situations and stay mentally level, never get too high, never get too low. And I truly believe we have that on this team. We could go through some bad, some adversity, but still find ways to get out of it. We had a tough 2-game stretch, found ways to now. Was that 3 in a row now? Back-to-back wins, after 2 losses. So, it's a real, like Mike said, it's a resilient football team. And we're just riding the wave, man, throughout the game. There's never getting too high, never getting too low.
Thank you both.
That's it.
Hey guys, Matt Fairburn here. What did it mean to you guys as a defense to see Josh and the offense put up 44 and just to see them get back to what they were doing early in the year?
That's our offense. We went against them all camp. No preseason. They were able to move the ball on us, make plays on us, so we know what type of offense they are. It's just, it's good to see. I've been saying this all along. It's good to see the success of 17, just his competitive nature and what they've been able to do in the last couple of years, putting points up and having guys on that offense that are just going out there and competing. Bringing a guy like Diggs is obviously, number 1 receiver, but Bees and Smoke, they all, Dawson, whoever it is out there, they're all making plays. And it's just good to see that, the evolution of the where the offense was a couple years ago to where they are now, and they're only going to get better.
We've talked about, how tough it is to play defense in the NFL these days. What do you have to readjust your mindset at all to be like, you let up 34 points, but it was legitimately a great game. You turned the ball over 4 times. How do you deal with that in a game when points are going to be scored, but the big plays will be what matters?
Like I said earlier, just continue to weather the storm and continue to stay on a level plane throughout the game. They're a good offense. They're gonna make plays, but continuing to fight, continuing to grind. And, we had 3 takeaways, and those were big plays in the game to help change the dynamic of the game. So just staying with it throughout that was the number one offense coming in. I think it was the number one offense coming into the game today. And so we knew they were going to make plays, we knew they were going to score points, but just continue. That's the type of team we have. Continue to grind throughout the game and come out and win.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys. You're all set.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, that's Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde giving their thoughts on the game. And Eric, you look at the defensive effort today. The Bills had 4 3-and-outs in this game on defense. 3 of them are ended after 3 plays via the turnover. The Hughes forced fumble and the White fumble recovery, the Trey White interception late in the game, and then the A.J. Klein forced fumble and fumble recovery. They got off the field with turnovers.
They did, and those are huge. And in big games like this, forcing turnovers is something that the Bills have not proven that they could do consistently throughout the year. So it's so great to see that show up today. And when you're playing a prolific offense like the Seahawks have, the #1 ranked passing attack in the NFL, you're playing a quarterback like Russell Wilson, to be able to force those turnovers, it makes a tremendous difference in the game. And when you win a turnover margin 4-0 in the NFL, you are going to come away victorious. And the turnovers were just a huge part of the picture when you look at the Bills getting the win today.
Yeah, 16 total points off of turnovers. And you look at the difference in the game, it's a 10-point game. So those 16 points obviously crucial to the victory. Let's go back down to the locker room where Zack Moss is addressing the media.
Outstanding game, and congrats on the win. How fun was it just to have? I mean, I know it when you have this is the most points, by the way, the Bills scored since 2016. So just in general, how fun was a game like this where you were pretty much in control from the very start?
It was definitely a lot of fun to be out there just watching the guys execute plays. And I mean, everybody was just ready to go for this game. We did a really good job all week in practice. And staying ready and just executing everything. We knew there was a really good team coming in and that they could score a lot of points, and they did a lot of good things. But, we just did our job.
And one follow-up, just again, watching and appreciating Josh Allen, 400-yard game, and looking like the guy we saw for the better part of the first 4 weeks. Observations on that, please.
I mean, he's the same guy every week. Every game is different in this league, which I've learned. Sometimes you're rolling and sometimes you're not. But, the most important thing is to, come out of there with a win. And, he does a really good job of leading this team. And he's a fighter. No matter what his numbers is, he's always the same guy, win or loss. So, it's great to go out there and, fight with a guy like that.
Thanks, and congrats.
Zach Attack, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports Today. How you doing?
What's up, my man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Inside that red zone, it seemed like you really wanted to, put that nail in the coffin. What was going on in your mind when you got that call?
I'm always about trying to stay ready, doing whatever the team needs me to do. And, in the goal line packages, they call my number a lot. So I always try to stay ready and just finish the job that these guys did a really good job of getting down the field and, preparing the offense. When you get in that red zone, definitely under 5 yards, you always want to come out of there with a touchdown.
Absolutely. And in that first half, it seems like y'all was keeping Josh real clean with the pass protections out there. So here to talk about, what you were seeing out there as far as the looks that Seattle was giving you.
Yeah, we knew they were a kind of a high pressure team between Wagner and Adams. And that's who they like to bring a lot and things like that. So we did a really good job of just continuously picking it up, and we harped on that all week. We knew as long as we, take care of the line of scrimmage and pick up the blocks and communicate everything, Josh would have a day. And, O-line and the backs and the tight ends and Josh communicating everything to everyone. We was able to go ahead out there and do that.
Thanks a lot, man. Big win today.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Zach, Heather Prusak here from the CBS station in Buffalo. Congrats on the win. Just going back to Josh, it seems like he had such a calming presence there, even, not getting rattled, even when he was getting sacked multiple times and you guys dealing with so many injuries on the offensive line. Can you just speak to just his calming presence in the huddle and out there for you guys?
To see a guy like that not get rattled, when things are going south and things like that, and continuously come to the sideline and keep everybody's head level we have a really good team when it comes to on the offense side of the ball, definitely, with our mentality and just, next play mentality. So Josh is to have a guy at the helm, showing that and being able to show that each and every time he's on the field is big for our offense.
What kind of a statement do you think you guys made beating a team like the Seahawks, especially with, how well they're doing, Russell Wilson, front runner for an MVP? Just what kind of a statement do you think you guys made in this win here today?
I can't speak for the team, but, I think for me, I would say we let the media figure that out. We just came out here and, wanted to notch another win on our belt. And we did that. And, we got one more game and just want to finish it out strong going into our bye week. So, that's the biggest thing for us.
Thanks, Zach.
Yep.
Hi, Zach. This is Jordan LaBarber with Bills.com. What was your impression of the defense coming up, I guess, at crucial moments with turnovers today?
Yeah, the defense did a really good job, man. Coach preached about getting turnovers and turning into offense, and Trey almost did that day. They did a really good job. All phases of the ball was ready to go on special teams, defense and offense. Everybody just really played into each other's arms and things like that. So it was really good seeing the defense go out there, take the ball away, give us a lot of good field position today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Are there any other questions for today? Okay, Zach, it seems like you're all set.
All right, that's Zack Moss from down in the locker room. And Eric, his stat line is not going to look overly impressive. 9 carries for 18 yards, but he did have the big rushing touchdown to kind of widen Buffalo's lead. And those 2 catches that he made in the passing game, I think, were a microcosm of the difference between the run game success and the pass game success. But that 20-yard screenplay to get that pass rush of the Seattle Seahawks when they were blitzing almost every down to back off, I thought was huge.
Yeah, I thought both the fourth quarter screen passes, the one to Zack Moss and then the other to John Brown, those were both enormous plays for the Bills. John Brown's obviously comes on 3rd and 16 to get them down near the goal line. But for the Bills and Zack Moss, when you look at the day today, the Bills only have 34 yards on the ground today. But what the Bills have proven these last 2 weeks is they can beat you on the ground. They can get under center and grind you out like they did against the Patriots last week, exploiting their rush defense that was ranked in the bottom 5 of the NFL. And then today you play a pass defense in Seattle that is ranked 32nd in the NFL, and you torch them through the air. What the Bills are able to do from a balance standpoint on offense, and not necessarily balance in game, balance from game to game, is so impressive that they have the talent on the team at this point to do it both ways.
Yeah, and then a couple of goal-to-goal situations. They get the touchdown in tight from Moss, as you mentioned, and then they get the other one from Josh Allen on the ensuing drive on that design run to the right there.
You're right. And then early in the game, through the air, Josh throws an absolute rifle on the goal line and to Tyler Kroft, which I guess that ball just stuck to him when it hit him. And then they do cap both those drives off. I love the Josh Allen run with all the motion going towards the left side of the field from the skill position players and then all the offensive linemen getting out in space. John Feliciano with an incredible cut block out in space in front of that Josh Allen run, which is incredible to see your center out moving ahead of your athletic quarterback like that. And yeah, the Bills made plays when they needed to on the ground today, but they didn't need to do it very often. And I think what we're going to see, Chris, is game to game, they can exploit teams different ways. So if the weather dictates it or a specific weakness of a defense dictates it, they can play that type of game.
Let's go now down to the locker room to listen to Josh Allen, who accounted for 4 of the Bills' touchdowns today.
As a whole team, we took care of business today. We played really good complementary football. Our special teams gave us a couple short fields. Our defense gave us a couple short fields. I think they had 3 or 4 forced turnovers. And anytime you're winning the turnover battle by that much, you're going to have success. So, it was a complete total win today. Our guys got open, made some plays. Our O-line protected, their tails off. And, there's one thing that I can do better. I took too many sacks today, getting the ball out quickly and, not trying to push the ball downfield and just getting the ball out early enough where they can't get to me.
And I thought one of the keys of the game, it seemed like, you completed 31 passes. I'm not sure 2 or 3 were actually contested catches. There were just guys open all day. What was working so well in your scheme that kept getting guys open all day like that?
I mean, our guys did a good job. We protected up front, and I had time to get the ball out. And again, it's credit to those guys and finding windows in their zone, and when it was man, executing their route. So it's my job to get them the ball, and they made it easy for me today.
Okay, thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Matt Bove here. When you guys score 44 points as an offense, I would imagine you're playing with just a ton of confidence. When you kind of look back at the season thus far, do you remember a time when the offense was clicking like it was today?
I mean, again, I think the last few weeks we've been moving the heck out of the ball. We just haven't been putting many points on the board. So it was good today that we got some touchdowns instead of field goals. Still left a lot of meat on the bone, though, and I truly mean that. So it's going to be fun to watch this one and still learn from it and try to get better from it because, again, if we're moving the ball and spreading the ball around, we got weapons outside that, I'm not sure too many people can keep up with those guys. So I got to make good decisions and put the ball in their hands and let them make some plays.
How important, though, was it, kind of going back to that confidence, to start and score so early, just 3 plays into the game? And, I'm sure that probably set the tone.
The special team set the tone. Dre doing what he did, and the return unit doing what they did. It speaks kudos to a guy like Coach Heath, and he was a Seahawk. So to come here and to have a performance like that, it means a lot to our guys. It means a lot to him, and our guys wanted to play for him because of that.
Thank you, Josh.
Hey, Josh, congrats on the win and the great game.
Thank you.
From your standpoint, to go back to what Sal was saying about the amount of green patches around your targets and you connecting with them, just how fun it was. It looked like just pitch and catch time for much of this game for you and your receivers. How fun was that?
Oh, it was awesome. Our guys, like I said, did a good job of getting open, and we protected up front enough where I can get the ball out and let them make some plays. And you saw a lot of really good yards after the catch. You saw a lot of really good routes today, guys stepping up, making plays, and that's what you love to see. So, again, it's my job to get into their hands, and that's what we did today.
And when you were the head coach of the Seahawks, Pete Carroll, made reference after this game that they were surprised that you didn't run as an offense as much as they, I guess, thought you were going to. When you were talking about this game plan with Brian Daboll, how did that hit you, the idea that you were probably going to be doing a lot of throwing and a lot more throwing than running today?
Well, I loved it personally, and I know our receivers loved it, but whatever it takes to win is what we're willing to do, what I'm willing to do. It's checking out of a pass and getting to a run play. That's what I'm doing, and just trying to put us in the right situation and the right play call each and every play. And it's job of the quarterback to get yourself out of bad plays, and there's still a couple today that we can clean up. But again, whatever the case is, I trust in Coach Daboll and our offensive staff of developing a game plan and just going out there, and the guys got to go and execute it, and I think we did that today.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Heather Prusak here. Good to see you. Congrats on the win. How much, from your perspective, how much different is this offense when you have John Brown on the field?
He's just another guy that you got to worry about. His route running, his speed, he's a vertical threat. He's a very smart, instinctive runner, knows when to find zones. He's a heck of a player and a heck of a guy. And when he's on the field, it's just, it forces you now. You got to worry about 3 or 4 different guys on the field at all time. You can't, as soon as you take attention away from it, that's when we use them. And, he stepped up tonight and 1 yard away from having a 100-yard game and got tripped up by the goal line. But, those are the type of things we need him to do. And, he went out there and did it. I know he's had a couple weeks of battling with some injuries, but today he played fantastic.
Hey, you were 1 yard away from a new career high, too.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Just, putting up as many points as you guys did, 44 points. What does that do for this offense's confidence moving forward and beating a team like the Seahawks? What does it do just for your confidence as a whole moving forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, obviously, the confidence is there, but we understand it's a week-to-week league. And, I swear I don't even know who we're playing next week, but, we're taking it 1 week at a time, and that's how we're doing it. So as soon as we watch this film, and we're getting onto it next week, and we understand that each week's a different challenge that we got to be prepared for and have a good week of practice and try to go out there and execute.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Hey, Josh, how's it going? You run the ball 38 times against the Patriots and win. You pass the ball 38 times against Seattle and also win. I mean, is this the type of offense that I guess y'all were envisioning this offseason when you made all of these offseason additions? Like, is this the kind of offense you were expecting to see?
100%. And, the thing is, like I said earlier, we're willing to do whatever it takes to win a football game. We got a lot of selfless guys here. We got guys up front that don't care if we run or pass. And we got receivers that are, willing to block in the run game, which sometimes you don't get that. But our guys are selfless and just want to win football games, and we just want to do whatever it takes to win.
Gotcha. You referenced earlier that, you're going to pick your game apart today, that you took too many sacks. I guess what did Seattle do that kind of made you take so many sacks? Like, what were you seeing out there?
Yeah. One, they had a good rush plan. They brought some blitzes that I could have fixed with a different check, in protection. But they did a good job. They get paid on the other side of the football too, and they had a good game plan. But they made it a little bit of a zero game, early on or late in that first half and early in the third quarter. And then we hit the screen to John and kind of got him out of that. So I got to recognize those earlier and get to our checks, whatever the case may be. And if we continue to see it, we'll have to adjust and find different ways to attack it. But as soon as you hit them once or twice there, usually the team doesn't go back to it. So just recognizing it earlier.
Gotcha. And that zero, that cover zero, that's them basically sending more guys than you can block and daring you to find a receiver quick?
Correct.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, man.
Yep. Thank you, Marcel.
Josh Allen, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports
Luke,
10.
how you doing?
I'm good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that me?
There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Seemed like, man, you was listening to Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes today. You was pretty much flawless in the air today. But, it seems like today y'all came out here with a little chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? To go out there and play an upper echelon team like Seattle. The way you guys went out there and forced your will around a tough NFC opponent, how exciting is that for you and your teammates?
It's really exciting, and sitting here 7-2, we're excited what we can do and how we can play, but we understand that not only 7 wins doesn't get you into the playoffs. So we got to continue to find ways to keep stacking weeks and focusing on it 1 week at a time. Like I said, we know we got a different challenge next week that we got a game plan for, and every time you step on the field, it's a little bit different. So we got to be ready for it, whatever the case may be, and go from there.
On the sideline, man, how fun was it to watch this defense just get after Seattle's offense today?
Here you go. Sorry, what was that?
And on the sideline, how fun was it to watch this defense just go after Seattle's offense all day today?
They played fantastic, forcing turnovers and creating short fields for us. The blitzes that they brought, Coach Frazier, he really dialed it up today. And my guys went out there and executed, holding their fakes and holding their shows and rotations and stuff like that. So, when we're playing complementary football like that, it's, we're a hard team to beat. And, we know we're a good team, and we got to go out there and show that each and every week and have a good week of preparation, like I've been saying. And, we got a really good Cardinals team coming in this next week, so we got to be prepared for anything.
Absolutely, man. Hey, keep getting the job done week to week. Good job.
Thanks, Mook.
Thanks, Josh. That's it for today.
The quarterback press conference is presented by Energy Mark, the official energy supplier to the Buffalo Bills.
All right, that's Josh Allen there, Eric, and it's hard not to be impressed by what he was able to do today. I mean, he set a career high with completion percentage at 81.6%. Previous high was the Thanksgiving game last year when he completed 79% of his passes, and he had 14 more attempts today than he did on that day. Tied a career high with 415 passing yards, which he did all the way in week 2. I found it interesting, though, that he said that Pete Carroll, or we heard that Pete Carroll in his post-game press conference said he thought they were going to run the ball a lot more. And Steve and I on One Bills Live this week were talking about how the way they were able to run the football last week was going to pay dividends going forward in terms of getting opportunities to victimize teams in the pass game again, because that was good run game tape to show opposing defensive coordinators, and it looked to be the case today.
Absolutely. And to hear Pete Carroll say that confirms your and Steve's point throughout the week. And when you can ground someone out like they did last week to the Patriots and then air it out like they did today, only doing 2 design runs in the entire first half. Josh Allen in the first quarter today was 13 for 15, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. When you start a game like that, there can't be a better feeling as a quarterback and as an offensive coordinator knowing that your third-year signal caller is completely comfortable back there, dishing it out all over the field. Short passes, long passes, they did screens. And this was a 415 yards without one of the jet sweep flips to him. This was all through the air, real passing. And ever since the first drive, when he hit Isaiah McKenzie in stride, that showed me that he was analyzing the entire field. Isaiah McKenzie, oftentimes, not his first look, not his first read, but that was going to be the guy open on that play based upon the coverage and the route concept by the Bills. And when he found him, that had to be a great feeling for Brian Daboll, knowing that number 17 was locked in today.
That 5-play scoring drive they had, which finished with Gabe Davis, it was all first downs. They didn't even get to second down or third down on that 5-play scoring drive. It was insane. But we got to go back down to the locker room right now for a guy who clearly had his best game in a Bills uniform, A.J. Klein.
Mike even called it the game of your life here this afternoon. I mean, were you flying around? What made you flying around so differently, this one than maybe what we've seen in the past?
Well, I think we had a good plan going into this game, and we knew we were going to have opportunities to get after the quarterback, his backers. So had a lot of opportunities to rush, and I'm glad that those sacks and those plays came up, because obviously anytime you have big plays like that, it covers up a lot of possibly negative plays or negative things that might have happened throughout the game. But as a defense, top to bottom, I mean, I think we were +4 in turnover differential. So it's huge. And offense started fast this week and was able to carry that momentum. And defensively, we had to go out and play like that to end games. So it was good. It was a good feeling to win, and let's move on to the next one.
What about just the overall aggressiveness Leslie was calling with the game as a defense? Do you guys embrace that style of things where it's really, letting the dogs go?
Yeah, and I think that's part of the mentality that we went into this week, knowing that we were going to have opportunities to get after Russell, and we didn't want to obviously let him get comfortable, because we know he's one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the NFL of making things happen with his feet, especially when things break down. So bringing pressure and getting him uncomfortable is a key part of our game plan.
All right, that's A.J. Klein, who had 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, a tackle for loss, a pass defensed, a forced fumble, and, of course, the fumble recovery near the end of the game. Let's go to the locker room now as head coach Sean McDermott is addressing the media.
Congratulations on the win. The narrative certainly in the media, locally, and I think to an extent nationally, is statement win for your team. What's your view internally on that statement, that narrative?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just another win. I mean, these are hard to come by, as I've said before. I appreciate the way our players played in all 3 phases, really complimenting one another. We took care of the football. Special teams got us off to a great start with Andre Roberts' return, and we stayed resilient through the course of the game. We knew it was going to be 60 minutes or longer, just based on their success and Russell Wilson's just winning mentality.
I know typically you don't get a lot of information on injuries, but it's been a bit since the end of the game. What can you tell us about Trey White at this point?
Yeah, don't know. Honestly, Adam, I have not gotten with. I just jumped out of the shower and got on with you guys here, so I'll know more probably early part of the week here.
All right, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Sean, congrats on the win.
Thanks,
last week, after you guys beat the Patriots, I asked you, what this win means. And you said it was an emotional win. It got you emotional. It was emotional for the city. So what does this win against a guy like Russell Wilson and the NFC leading Seahawks? Come on, give me something.
Yeah. No, it was a great win. Great win. I mean, any win's a great win in the National Football League. But let's be honest, that's a really good football team that we played today. And so was the Patriots, don't get me wrong. It's just this week, I mean, to take our game where the guys took it, they earned it. They worked their butts off during the week. They were focused. And I just wish our fans honestly could have enjoyed it with us.
When you look at what the offense was able to do, it really looked like this is the offense we saw the first month of the season. You know, Josh said tied his career high in passing yards. I mean, guys were just electric out there in the passing game. Just what did you see from that side of the ball and how they were able to execute today?
Yeah, just great coordination. I thought Dable did a great job with the offensive staff, good communication on the sideline, and the execution was at a high level. And that started back in practice. Great communication during the week of practice and what we liked, what we didn't like, and then the players executed again. And it all starts up front. It always starts up front.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Sean, congrats on the win.
Yeah, thanks, Vic.
And just the fact that, following up what Heather said about this offense, the other part of this was how little you ran, and obviously it varied heavily from last week where it was a run-oriented attack. When you were preparing this game plan with Brian and basically deciding on, okay, we're gonna throw it. We think that's the way to go. You as a defensive-oriented guy, it doesn't quite fit that profile perfectly. So how do you put your head in that position of saying it's a good day if we have our quarterback throw as much as Josh did today, obviously with the confidence that you were going to have a good result?
Yeah, listen, we go through, we vet everything out. We talk about it. I think as a staff, we have great communication during the week, and we want to be responsible in what we're doing, but also know how we want to try and win each game. So I really thought we did a good job establishing the line of scrimmage a week ago in the run game, and then this week we just felt like the right recipe, the right formula was to go at them through the air a little bit there. So, and I think you saw the fruits of that. So, again, credit to the offensive line, giving Josh time to throw. And Josh played a heck of a game. He was under pressure at times, was able to escape, was smart with the football, and got it where he needed to get it to his outlets at times when they were pressuring. And listen, Josh was emotional. He as you probably heard, lost his grandmother last night, and it was a big win and a great thing for him to play like he played. Just a mentally tough young man.
Okay, actually didn't hear that, and very sorry for him and his family. Just one quick follow-up was on Josh. Matt Hasselbeck mentioned this morning on ESPN about the shoulder injury, non-throwing shoulder injury he suffered, that Josh had suffered against the Raiders. Matt said something similar in his career, and was, again, I know this is highly imperfect, but he was using his own physical timeline and saying that the healing point should be good enough now where he would, he was talking this morning that in a game like this, whatever effects that were there, and I know Josh didn't complain about it, nobody really mentioned it, but any thoughts there on the fact that he was more healed maybe from that, and we also saw that result?
Yeah, it's probably, there's a lot of things that bake into that, Vic. Josh is he's a tough sucker, man, and that's why I think the guys like playing with him, playing for him, and the O-line likes blocking for him. He endears himself to his teammates. Maybe some other quarterbacks would have taken a week or two to come back or whatever timeline. I don't watch TV on Sundays before the game, but
really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I try to stay away from that. With all due respect. I thought it was great. Great performance by our team. We knew, like I said earlier, we knew they were going to test us through 4 quarters, and they did that.
Thanks, Sean. Again, congrats.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks, Vic.
Hey, Sean, it's John Scott. Aggressive is the word we heard a lot of the defensive guys use when describing the plan for this afternoon. Why was that something that we saw this afternoon, maybe more so than some other games?
Yeah, I thought Leslie Frazier came up, and with the defensive staff as well, came up with a great game plan. just what we felt like we needed to do to win the game, honestly, John. And it was fun to watch. It was really fun to watch us play aggressive in that regard and yet fundamentally sound.
We've seen when things have been ramped up and more aggressive, the results have usually been pretty good. Does that, as a defensive guy, I mean, what allows players to seemingly play more free in that aggressive nature?
Well, it's probably a mindset. I think when you have clarity during the early part of the week in terms of how we want to attack the game plan, and then they can go out there and execute. The practice time we put in allows the guys to understand the ins and outs of the defense and the game plan, and then they can go out there and play free, like you said.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, Sal, congratulations.
Thanks, Sal.
I won't ask you about statement games, okay? We'll stay off that topic here. You made one today. But look, what I do want to ask is, look, everyone, the media loves to create narratives, and everybody and their mother figured this was going to be a high-scoring shootout. As a coach, especially a defensive coach, did you realize that was going to be the case today? As proud as you are of your defense, did you kind of figure this was going to be exactly what we saw?
I think if I'm accurate, they were the number one scoring offense in the league. So, yeah, I mean, we knew that it was going to be. Whenever you play Russell Wilson, I've gone up against him a few times, just coached against him. I think we were up 31-0 in the divisional championship game in 2016, I believe, and he came back within a score. So that's the way he is. That's what you need to do, and you got to score points against him, and then you got to play complementary with all three phases. And I thought we did that with the takeaways on defense and the special teams unit making some big plays for us also.
And if I could ask you, I think Vic's right. I don't know that anybody knew about Josh's loss there. Can you just kind of tell us maybe the mood before the game, what you might have said to him and all that?
Yeah, so we found out last night, and obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to Josh and his family. And, we talked yesterday before meetings last night. I called Josh and just asked him where he was on it. And, obviously expressed my sympathy to him as well as his family. And he said he wanted to play and we just felt like he was going to have to compartmentalize for the better part of 24 hours in order to get through the game. And that's what he did. And then he was emotional after the game and, not an easy thing to play through.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, 34 points against generally is probably not something you're interested in, but you had so much probably to be happy about with what you saw from your defense. I guess I just wanted to see what your thoughts are on having a game of 34 points, but doing so many things that I'm sure that put a smile on your face.
Yeah, I mean, taking the ball away, Tim, I think was it 4 times? We took the ball away 4 times. So, I like how we were playing offense on defense, if you will. So I like the aggressive mindset and I thought our guys did some good things. They like always, Russell's going to make some plays and they have an explosive offense and we knew that. And so there's some plays in there we want back and we've got to make sure we get that, looked at this week as we move forward.
What would you be able to say? I know that these are two, especially when you're talking about the linebacker position, you want to look at the film and see things, but your general impressions on both Edmonds and Klein today.
Yeah, I thought, as you mentioned, looking at the film would be important, but I thought they were active. Every time I saw the ball, in the run game or saw the ball in the pass game, they were around it quite a bit, and that's really good to see. Really good to see. And I know AJ made the big play down the stretch on the sack fumble there, which is huge. But it's not a team that's turned the ball over very much coming into this game. So, my hat goes off to our defense and the defensive coaches.
Was there any kind of extra change of mission for AJ Klein today?
No, AJ was I thought executed at a high level. That's probably a question more so for AJ, Tim, but really proud of the way he played.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, Jason Wolf of the Buffalo News. Congratulations on a big win.
Thanks, Jason.
Piggybacking off of Tim's first question there, I was curious to ask you, lots of pressure today, the 4 turnovers, obviously on defense, critical to coming out of this with the victory. How do you manage to sustain that now moving forward, now that you guys have had that type of a breakthrough performance?
Yeah, well, I think you go back and look at the film like we always do, and make the adjustments that we need to make, and then we look at it and say, hey, okay, what's the next game plan? Honestly, so we got a good Arizona Cardinals team that we're going to travel out west to play, and it'll be a big challenge.
Also curious, your thoughts on what Jerry Hughes is able to deliver all season long, and then today in particular. His pressure in the first quarter led to Poyer's interception. He had the strip sack. I mean, just the role that he's stepped into on the team this year.
Yeah, really proud of him. Really proud of Jerry. Made some big time effort plays in particular today that I noticed without, again, looking at the film at the interior line and whatnot. So really proud of the way he's led that group and been a consistent performer for us all season to this point. Big time plays today.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats again.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, Sal Capaccio here, WGR. Congratulations on a big win.
Thanks, Sal.
I want to ask you about your offensive line. They had 3 guys go down there pretty quickly in short order, and had to kind of shuffle the deck. You've spoken before about how important it is to have smarts and versatility, and sure enough, you really needed it. Can you kind of just revisit that a little bit, how important that was today?
Yeah, you're right. That position flexibility because of the smarts and toughness, and again, backup staying ready, being ready to go when asked and when called upon. Very unselfish approach, which I think is a great thing for a football team.
And as far as unselfish approach, I know that's something you harp on, you preach, and you talk about a lot at practice. How far does it go? I read something, heard something today about how you started practice with showing unselfish plays and things like that, and last week doing it with a couple of your biggest players. And how much does that really go a long way for guys to see that everybody to be all in on that?
Yeah, well, it's got to start at the player, at the person we're dealing with, and the people we have here. And when you have those types of guys that have that in their DNA, then they want to make plays for other guys, right? I mean, you look at the block today. I think it was on the screen where we almost scored to Smoke Brown. Guys blocking on the perimeter of the offense, and that takes wide receivers blocking for another wide receiver, and that's a healthy deal right there. And I think that's something that thread we've got to continue to grow that.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Sean McDermott's press conference is presented by Hunt, the official real estate and relocation company of the Buffalo Bills.
All right, Eric, that's head coach Sean McDermott, and I don't know how you feel, but I think this was probably the most complete game that the Bills played this season. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And Seattle climbs back in and late, makes some big plays in the fourth quarter to put up maybe more points, make it a little bit more closer than it even seems when you look at the 44-34 final. But this was a game where both sides of the ball played well, and you heard Sean McDermott say, even Sean McDermott would admit that maybe this game feels a little better, this win feels a little better, because that was a great Seattle team that they played. And to get a win like this against probably the NFC's best team is a great momentum builder heading into the rest of the season. It's a great confidence builder. And I liked what we saw from Zack Moss, Josh Allen, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. It seems to be a lot of confidence exuding out of these guys after that win.
And for good reason. The Bills are 7-2 after 9 games for the first time since 1993. Eric, thanks very much for your insight and your time.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure, Chris.
All right, that's Eric Wood joining us here on Bills Tonight. Be sure to tune in for the broadcast version of Bills Tonight coming your way at 11:30 this evening on MSG. We'll see you then.